Tower is going to be a really important building, I think, for the evolution of Vaughan. Vaughan has, for a long time, had a certain kind of character, a kind of a low-rise character, and with the kind of emergence of the Vaughan Metropolitan Centre, we're going to see a whole different kind of building. And the first ones of those buildings are a bit more tentative. They're not sure about the changing nature, but the CG Tower says definitely Vaughan's character is changing, and this is the character, and it makes a bold statement about that.
We worked together with Quadrangle on the building because we did want to work with a world-class firm, and they are designing things that are not only sustainable but beautiful.
What we were really interested in with the CG Tower was to take an idea of living, of home, but translate that from the sort of the Vaughan of the past few decades, which is single-family houses, and think, how does that turn into a kind of a living in a high-density, high-rise format? So our narrative is a kind of homes in the sky. So to create that, we've done a lot of thinking about how people are living, what's the nature of the living, and what's the scale of living. So, for example, the material of the tower will be brick. So when you're in a brick tower, from a distance it has a certain kind of look, but when you get up close it has a kind of a fine scale. It has a scale that you relate to as a kind of a home, and you associate with that kind of living. We had to really work through the details of how a material that operates at this scale can become something that's able to work a really big scale.
That we had a very, very high up in the sky amenity on the 32nd floor. You don't usually get in terms of regular amenities, so that allowed us to not only have the amenity up that high, but also have an exterior amenity there, a whole continuous balcony. So that gave us the opportunity of almost of a lookout. From that place you'll be able to see the horizon as well as the park and get a different view and a different connection to the landscape than you would on the lower floors. We started drifting the notion that the public park and the interior community have a place to meet, which is the public spaces on the ground floor.
And so we began by thinking, what does it mean to be a landmark building? You know, what different kinds of landmarks can there be, and which ones of those make sense in Vaughan specifically and in the emerging Vaughan Metropolitan Centre?
We never stopped the conversation, and we never stopped developing the idea. We didn't start from the beginning, come up with an idea, concept, the drawings, and move on forward. We always had the bravado, and the client had the generosity of allowing us to keep exploring ideas and keep developing them. So as we started talking and started developing the narrative of how this is going to play out, they never said, okay, now you're done. Don't think anymore, now do and get it finished.
We really needed to believe that this tower would be not only a catalyst, but a symbol of